The development that DOJ is seeking a January trial date for the coup case, proposing to start the year with the trial, just weeks out from the GOP primary, the first one, a plan that may concern Trump and the Republican Party. Now, a judge will make that final call, but this is the framework for our special report, which begins right now. The Trump coup and insurrection were some of the greatest attacks on democracy in U.S. history. Yet it can be easy to forget that for all the horror, reaction, discussion, and coverage, for all the trials of people who stormed the Capitol and the convictions of seditionists, for all of that, there was no serious coup probe or indictment of the outgoing president for years. Indeed, the man who publicly led those election plots and, of course, the Jan 6 rally, who was impeached for inciting an insurrection, that man, 2 years after those events, the person at the center of it all was not facing a serious federal coup probe, let alone charges. And reporting shows quite the opposite. Not only was he not facing that, but the FBI and DOJ were avoiding pursuing Trump for reasons ranging from optics to caution to what they viewed as the developing evidence. Now, we all know that. That was the status quo for years. So in our special report tonight, let's begin with the very simple question. What changed? One thing. It's the kind of change in law enforcement that can change everything, as so memorably put in 48 hours.
There's a new sheriff in town. And his name is Reggie Hammond.
A new sheriff came to town. His name is Jack Smith. And unlike, say, Bob Mueller or Bill Barr, Smith is a veteran prosecutor who was actually unknown in America. Those other two I mentioned were known. They'd run the FBI and the DOJ. But Smith had stayed far from PR or politics or those big posts. He'd even stayed far from the continental U.S. lately, doing human rights prosecutions at The Hague. But he was known within legal circles as a nonpartisan, no-nonsense pit bull who worked hard and fast. And then, well, this part we've all learned. Once Jack Smith went to work on this case, everyone got to know him quickly.
Jack is a really good prosecutor.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
He is really thorough.
Very much like a bulldog in terms of what he gnaws on when he gets his teeth around it.
By all accounts, and also by his name, another no-nonsense, tough-as-nail prosecutor who will follow the facts and won't be intimidated.
Y'all, Jack Smith is not playing.
If anyone can take on Trump, it's probably this guy.
He's a serious, sober-minded prosecutor who is not going to be deterred.
Jack Smith clearly proved to be a legal foe unlike any Trump has faced. Colleagues recalling how he doesn't like to sit there playing with his food. Certainly not. Jack Smith does not play around. He moves fast, as we just heard, and he takes action, having found both the evidence and the resolve to do what no one else in American history had yet done, to indict a former president. And then he did it again.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws. Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical. The attack on our nation's capital on January 6th, 2021, was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. My office will seek a speedy trial. My office will seek a speedy trial. We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone. The Department of Justice has remained committed to ensuring accountability.
Now, those are Jack Smith's only remarks ever of any kind across the 9 months he's been special counsel. It was 2 minutes at the first indictment, about 2.5 minutes at the second indictment of Donald Trump. We counted. Now, that's on purpose. And tonight, right now, we're going to show you some of the rare footage of Jack Smith in action, including one of the few times that he actually explained why he takes this quiet and careful approach. His skepticism towards any society that would try to basically convict people through public leaking or public hype instead of in-court careful evidence.